Let's walk into loneliness and tell the truth. On loneliness, there are places the body can't take you. There are places only the heart knows. And loneliness, true loneliness, is one of those places. Not mere solitude, not quiet, not a little alone time. Loneliness is different. It's not the absence of people. It's the absence of connection. It's not being alone, it's being unseen. A crowded room can hold a lonely man. A marriage can be built around it. A job, a family, a social life, none of them cancel loneliness if they never touch the soul. Because loneliness isn't just physical, it's existential. It's that ache beneath the skin that says, I don't think anyone really knows me. I don't think I've been fully received. I don't think I matter enough to be remembered when I'm not in the room. Where it comes from. Loneliness begins early. Sometimes it's a child growing up with parents who provided food but not presents. Sometimes it's being the smartest in the room, or the strangest, or the most sensitive, and having no one reflect you back. Sometimes it comes from silence. Other times it comes from being surrounded by noise that never says anything real. And once it arrives, once that cold starts to creep in, a person begins to live like a ghost. They keep showing up. They keep going to work. They keep saying, I'm fine. But there's a dimming behind the eyes, a quiet grief, the sense that the world is speaking a language that their spirit was never taught. Second, the lies we're told. Society doesn't like loneliness, not because it cares, but because it's uncomfortable. So it tries to distract you. Here, scroll this. Here, join this group. Here, take this class. Here, go to this concert. Here, put your pain into productivity. Here, laugh it off. And underneath all that noise is a quieter message. If you're lonely, something's wrong with you. You're too closed off, too intense, too weird. You expect too much. But that's a lie. The truth is, loneliness is not a defect. It is evidence of the soul's longing for something real. A person feels lonely not because they're broken, but because they haven't yet found the people, or the place, or the moment. That speaks the same language their spirit does. It's not weakness, it's sensitivity. And in this world, sensitivity is punished. So the lonely start to question their own longing. Maybe I don't deserve to be known. Maybe I'm too much. Maybe I should lower the volume of what I need. And so they go quiet, and the silence deepens, and the loneliness calcifies. Third, the forms it takes. Loneliness wears many masks. Sometimes it looks like rage, a sharpness that says, don't come near me, when what it really means is, please don't leave me. Sometimes it looks like performance. The funny friend, the reliable worker, the one who always knows what to say but never says what they feel. Sometimes it looks like detachment, spiritual bypassing, endless calm, the perfect meditator who has forgotten how to ache out loud. And sometimes it just looks like silence, like someone who stopped trying. Because what's the point in reaching out if no one ever reaches back? 4. What people say. People try to help. They say, you just need to love yourself. Go make new friends. You've got to put yourself out there. Everyone feels that way sometimes. Maybe you just need a hobby. But these words don't touch the real thing. They offer motion, not medicine. Because real loneliness isn't about being idle. It's about being invisible. And no amount of doing can fix what only being seen can heal. V, where it lives. Loneliness settles in the body. It rests in the shoulders, heavy. It clings to the rib cage, hollow. It fills the lungs with questions and wraps the spine in fog. It doesn't shout, it whispers. No one knows what it's like to be you. You could disappear and they'd just keep talking. You've been carrying this for so long and no one has any idea. And sometimes it's right. 6. What to do with it. So what can be done? Here is the strangest truth. Loneliness cannot be solved, but it can be met. It can be sat with. It can be listened to. It can be named. Softly, not like a threat, not like a curse, but like a visitor who only appears when the heart is very quiet and very real. Sometimes all that's needed is this, to say, yes, I feel alone. I feel untouched. I feel unsheltered. And not run from it. not talk over it, not shame it. Just be with it. The moment you do that, the moment you give it your presence instead of trying to escape it, the loneliness shifts, maybe not much, maybe not forever. But a crack opens, and sometimes through that crack a sound comes in, a song, a sentence, a voice, a hand. And then, even if just for a minute, you are not alone in your loneliness. And that is how it begins to break. 7. The sacred ache. What if loneliness isn't the enemy? What if it's the compass? What if it's not here to hurt, but to point to the place where truth lives? A person who has never known loneliness will never know the depth of intimacy. They may float from face to face, but they will not anchor. But the one who has sat with their own ache, who has faced the silence and not fled, they will recognize the real when it comes. They will not mistake chatter for communion. They will not settle for proximity without presence. They will not betray their soul just to fill the space, because they've learned being alone is hard, but being unseen while surrounded is worse. 8. The other side. There are moments, rare, quiet, unforgettable, when the loneliness lifts. Not because anything spectacular happens, but because someone says something real. Because someone looks and sees. Because for one moment you are met. And it's like breathing for the first time. That moment becomes an ember. You carry it with you. It tells you you are not unseeable. And slowly, with time, the loneliness becomes less about despair and more about discernment. You start to choose solitude when needed. You stop begging for scraps of attention. You stop folding yourself just to fit in rooms not built for you. And you start holding out for the real thing, the last word. Loneliness is real. It is heavy. It is sacred. It is not a punishment. It is not failure. It is the soul's signal that something essential is missing. And if you can sit with it and name it and not shame it, then, in time, you will not be so easily fooled by counterfeit connection. And when the real ones come, when they find you or you find them, you will know, not because the ache is gone, but because someone finally sat down beside it with you and stayed.